Well, welcome back, everybody. I've been running trains today, doing a little work out here to the layout. I kind of silenced the trains that way I could just get me just a little quiet view of what's going on. So I've been busy, and I'm fixing to go back to work. This is my weekend. I was off, and I got a little bit more work done. Progress has been a little slower than I thought. Of course, that's just part of the, modeling. Uh, so, but this is what I've been doing. I've got a bunch of signs in, and I've been working on them and putting my lights in for my tunnel. I got a couple of them billboard signs, which I got to do a couple more, but this is one. And then I've got the 14 4-inch clearance sign. I went ahead and inched it up about 4 inches because I think it was a little bit more than a foot. Got my hedges in and my lighting in around that part. Got my sidewalk in going down on this side, and of course it stops right up here. But that's really what I've been doing. I've just been adding a little bit of signs. I've got a divided highway here, and then on this other end I have put in my actually back here I have put in speed limit here is 35. It's highway 82, and then the opposite side over here, if you can see it, it's the same thing. And then over here I went ahead and put my railroad crossing, no passing zone sign, and I've started putting my caution dividers in, and I redone the lines there in the center of the road. So yeah, I've just kind of been playing with that too, and I've also put a no passing on this side in front of Dairy Queen. And if you look very closely, you can see where I've put a couple of grates. I still have to touch them up. There's a couple of spots I want to touch up there. Drainage, I guess you call them drainage grates for water. I've been working on my handicap spots. I've just about got them finished. I've got some trim I got to do. I need to do a little bit of trim up. And I've got my actual signs in there, and I've actually started putting some people on the outside. I got two here. I got a family over here trying to get out of the car. You see the dad and the kid on his back, and then the mama coming around, and the other little boy there on the back. And then I've got another lady getting in her car over here, out of her car, whichever one you want to say. And then I've got a bus sitting here. It's I modeled this after a Capital Trailways out of Atlanta, but I don't know. It's just a passenger bus. He's pulled in. They're gonna attack the Dairy Queen, I guess, and overcrowd them. But yeah, I'm still trying to work on that. I've got my parking bumpers there. I've got to paint them and put them in, and then I've still got to do the interior and a few other details. I still got to light this sign up out here, figure out how I'm going to do that. And I've been working on that, and I've got some hedges out just in case. I don't think I had these in last time. And then I've got some back here on the back part. And then one thing I did fail to mention, I think the last time you might have seen it, you knew about the fascia going up, but I've actually started putting my the town of Russell and then the CP 53.1. And then I've got west on that end, and of course east in this direction. And then over here, of course, I got my grade crossing signal, and then over here I've done this, and this is north, and that's CP 65 and south. Yeah, there's probably about 11, probably about 11 miles between this section, which is the actual CP 65. To the town itself, even though they bleed together like they are, somewhere excuse me, somewhere in the middle, I haven't really decided, but somewhere between the town either the grade crossing or right after. This is going to be 11 miles worth of track somewhere, a little over 11 miles. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I got a bunch of them signs in. I've got a bunch of stuff in I ordered. My progress also, I wanted to take you down here while I was doing this. This is the progress that I've been making so far on the oil refinery, the Shell oil refinery. It is getting there. It's slow, but it's getting there. I think these pipes, sorry about my finger. I think these pipes and these piping, it really took more time than I expected. It's not that they go together complicated or anything. It's just planning it out and making sure everything makes sense. And down here you can see that I've got some cutoff valves, and that runs up, and then in here, and these two centers capped off, but they run into the main, I guess you would say the main feed that runs back this way. And I've got the caps in for that, and I got a cutoff there, and I got the bigger caps on the back side that are running up pipes. See, all that's still got to be connected, and I got to figure out how that's going to go. Everything over here so far is going pretty well. I've got the two, I got the pipe one that runs into these two tank holes, and then you've got I got these three here capped off, and then of course there's a gap right there. But I had to build these. I guess you call them. I guess they're steel bar columns, if you want to say it that way, to hold the piping. But this set here actually will go into the backdrop, and then there is an open set over here. I still have to open and run them pipes, and they're probably going to curve back towards the backdrop as well. But I haven't got that far yet. I still got to hook and connect them two pipes down here on the running, and run them out, and somewhere they're going to connect and run up into these other ones. And I think that's why I left that gap, because at some point I think they're going to probably end up running up and connecting into there somewhere. I still got to put my rails in on this side. I've got some of the steps done, but I've got to do it all the way around, and of course this section and the section over there, and then the center part. All that's got to be done. For the most part, though, it's coming along. I mean, I'm not far from finishing it. I thought by now I would have it finished and I'd be getting ready to install the lighting, but it's a little bit more time consuming. I will also show you what else I'm doing, working on. If you look, I've started to put the post in for my perimeter fence, and as you can see, there's the one piece that has got the door. That's going to be the access door to the yard, which I still have to put steps down here and some kind of platform that can take you down to the rail, level of the track. So if you had to come out, cut cars, whatever, you wouldn't have to go all the way around one way or the other. And then over here, of course, it runs all the way back to the guard shack, and then all that will be continued with plaster later. But that's all I've done until I can get the perimeter gate up, and I got to put a walkway from the door. I need to connect it somewhere in the center of this this walkway here, and then I can go ahead and start putting my light poles in and go ahead and finish the exterior on the closest edge. But until I get done with all this piping, which I'm getting close, this is not going to take too much. This is going to be probably the biggest deal. But I figure if I can knock this out, maybe I could go ahead and probably just go ahead and finish the fence and put the light poles in, and then I'll be done. And then all these signs here, which will be no trespassing, restricted area, danger, all that will go on the actual chain link fence in between these, sections at some point. So I'm sorry about my finger, y'all. Then over here, of course, this is probably going to take the longest, and what I'm probably going to do is cut this out here and just cut it out, because this is going to be continued backdrop. And more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these tanks and just cut them out as sheets of styrene and glue them to the back of this backdrop before I put them in. That way it looks like there are more tanks, because these are numbered 11 and 12. Now in my fantasy, in my world, I imagine this, they would run backwards away from this. They would go back. So 11 and 12, and probably going to be like 10 and probably 9. And then everything behind that in the distance would be the other tanks as they work themselves back. So, and all these are basically here are the crude oil storage and refining tanks. They would just hold the crude oil and repump it and slowly refine it and turn it into the actual diesel or gasoline or whatever they're doing, premium or whatever. So, yeah, so far, I mean, it's getting there. It's a little bit more than I had last time, and I think things are going pretty well. So, taking you back up, that's pretty much all I have been doing. I've been kind of really working hard on this thing, but it's really time consuming. And then, of course, I have really been working on this section because I really want to get this done, at least the road part, so I can get that out of the way. I'm not really sure about what's going to go here. I know I wanted a Taco Bell and probably some kind of little hotel, and that's probably what I'm going to do. But right now I'm just trying to get the road and all that done and get the refinery done. And then once I get the refinery done over here, I can go ahead and start ballasting my track and start working myself, back, like I said, back this way out, and get some track ballasted maybe and some more progress that way. And of course the bridge, I can't do nothing with this because it will also be lit. So until I can get everything done underneath it and around it, the bridge, I can't do nothing with it. I mean, it's there, it's just that I can't light it or really put it in spot until I get all this underneath the bridge. And I still got to extend the bench work and figure out what I'm going to put here, which will probably be a paper mill. But I'm not going to get into all that, I'm just rambling. But yeah, I was just running trains out here today, and I'm fixing to shut it down now. And but I just want to give everybody an update. I guess you can go ahead and say it's an update for August. And I don't think too much else has changed. Everything's pretty much the same. But yeah, I don't think I mentioned this though last time. I did manage to get 2 of the center beam cars. They were both BC rails. They were both 2 different road numbers. And in fact, I got those when I got the low bay hoppers. But this one here is actually, believe it or not, a BC rail green, but I have weathered it. And these loads that I've got, I've actually had them for years. We're talking about probably 15 years. They used to run on my old. I had some old center beam cars. It was I think they were TTX, I believe. But I lost all that, of course, and divorce and all that, that happens. But anyway, so after all of this time of searching for center beam cars, they finally released a new run, and I managed to snag 2, and 2 is really all I really want. I mean, it's a small layout, it's not massive, and but now I've got my center beam loads finally, after they've been boxed for, the last, for I know 15 years. So, yeah, so I've just been, picking and choosing everything, I guess, and seeing how things are going to go, but I'm not going to drag this out. All right, so appreciate everybody watching. If you like it, subscribe and hit the like button and all that, and I appreciate it, and we'll see you next month. Enjoy running trains.